Lance, weather conditions, wind expected below zero temperatures could mean a lot of running coming up Saturday against the Saints.
Yeah, watching their film, they're okay against the run. Last week they struggled in the second half with the Falcons. So the Browns got to stay committed. I think one of the keys to the game is pressing that edge. That edge will get them the edge if they keep running. But then what happens is the Saints kind of overreact and really try to get outside, and that's going to create really, really good cutback lanes for Chubb and Hunt. It's going to be a very heavy run game, and they're going to have to control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, really on both sides of the ball you would expect because of the wind, not so much the temperature, but if the wind kicks up like it's supposed to. Let's take a look at what you're talking about. Let's start with the Saints defense. And you mentioned the trouble they had with the Falcons. What do you see here that enables the big run for Atlanta against the Saints D?
Well, one of the things inside, DeMario Davis is very good. He's one of my favorite linebackers. He plays sideline to sideline, but he's really good tackle to tackle. So one of the things that they struggle with is setting the edge or just edge pressure. So right here is this, it's a zone concept. They're going to pitch it here, and they get a little crack back by the receiver on the end, but up front, it's a zone concept. And they really struggle with that outside zone in that C and D gap. And then when teams keep pressing that edge, they end up giving cutback lanes. So here's just a quick pitch. It's 3rd and 1. Again, they're pretty good inside. Their defensive tackles are pretty good. That Tuttle's pretty solid. He's pretty heavy, but they struggle on this edge. And over, especially in the second half, Algier, who finished with 139 yards, he really hurt them on this edge run.
And again, you get the idea. Turns it upfield, gets that corner, the edge, and turns it upfield. So now the flip side of that is, though, on the back side of that, what do you see the Saints doing on this particular play?
So, when I was coaching, we used to call this, they're trying to overset it. So now they've been beating a bunch here to the edge here. So now what they're going to try to do, everybody's going to force that C and D gap. And what it does on this zone concept, this is a split zone concept with that guy going back through the back door there. And it is very, very hard when you are unable to set the edge not to overreact and kind of what it does is it creates big cutback lanes, which for the Browns and Nick Chubb, that's one of his best cuts is pressing that edge, that foot in the ground and getting upfield in that A gap. Zone can be hit anywhere from A to A, A to D gap on either side. Again, early on, I see the Browns pressing that edge and winning, and then as the Saints try to overreact, I see a big cutback opportunities for the Browns run game.
And again, that's kind of what Kevin Stefanski's offense is kind of set up to do. The zone concept that you're talking about, those exact adjustments to the run game are kind of what this offense does.
Yeah, and getting Posick backs can be really, really important because he'll be, especially if they're in their even front now. Again, I think teams are starting to cover that nose and give the Browns an eagle or tight front. But I don't think that's going to be the case so much with Posick because Posick can not only move, but Posick is a large man. So I think what we're going to see is that forefront, and it's big in that forefront in that zone concept for Posick to get up on the Mike backer as he gets through that double team on the front side of zone or the back side of zone. Those guards, obviously good players. So having him back will be really, really key. It is a focus of Stefanski's offense. And I think with the weather being the way it's going to be, they're going to have to live and die with this run game. And this zone is a little bit easier to run if the footing's not as good as it can be. Sometimes the counter game is tough because you're changing direction. So zone gets them downhill in a hurry. And I think that's going to be really good for the Browns on Saturday.